friends of Zoo Miami and especially friends of landscaping. Today we are going to look closer at the Zoo Miami beauties. In other chapters we look at the colors, shape or texture contrast seen from afar. Today we are taking the magnifier to see the micro-worlds of plants and mostly flowers. For today we're going to see through the eyes of a bee or a butterfly, although they say that they see colors on the range of ultraviolet light, blue and green. Well, you know what I mean. Up close, the Ixora flowers unveil the secret of the beauty of its inflorescences that always come in a bouquet. It's the repetition of dozens of the 4 petals red flowers and the contrast given by the golden stamens on each of them. For the spider lily, all the open trumpet-like flower has a delicate shade of white, almost transparent. The strong personality of the stamens, risen tall above as if trying to fly away from their base, is more noticeable up close. The Brazilian red cloak has both colors, pyramidal-shaped spikes of red flowers, actually bracts from which immaculate white trumpets offer their nectar to the bees and butterflies. The everywhere present bougainvillea has a similar color palette, with the basic variety displaying white little daisies over magenta bracts. Being so popular, many other bract colors have been cultivated, including red, pink, white or yellow. The flowers are always white. This same morphology of little flowers on a bigger structure is found on several tropical plants. The heliconia is one of them. The flower, usually white, is a minuscule part of a much showier red and yellow structure that serves as its container and support. The oyster plant is used in landscaping when a ground-cover dark base is looked for. Its spiky leaves multiply year after year, forming a green and purple blanket 1 foot tall, good for making more noticeable by contrast other lighter and taller plants. At least once a year, clumps of white, small flowers attract the attention as if the plants had been sprinkled with popcorn. The inflorescence of the bromeliads in the shape of spikes are spectacular. Again, the flowers are little and many times they go unhidden. Among all the varieties that we find at Zoo Miami, my favorite with no doubt is the Bilbergia pyramidalis. The ahmes are good as well, but in this Bilbergia, the combination of colors collected is fascinating and the shapes up close, really unique. The bees don't give up on the prize hidden at the bottom of the firebush tubular flowers, even if they are more designed for the longer proboscis of the butterflies. The orange-yellow flowers grow as little sausages and open when they are ready to offer their nectar. I find the blue color of some flowers rather mysterious. Of the flowers displaying this color, my favorite on the light blue side is the plumago. It's an easy-to-grow plant in Florida and blooms all the year round. The less than an inch 5-petal flowers group together in panicles, and the cyan shade slightly varies over time. On the stronger, darker side of blue we have the Mexican petunia. In this case the color ranges from navy blue to purple. An annual in other climates, here blooms again all year round. For contrasting with the shades of blue, the best color is yellow. Zoo Miami has an abundant collection of Thryallis, also known as yellow shower, one of the easiest carefree yellow flowering shrubs for South Florida. It produces small spikes of beautiful golden yellow flowers that give it a soft, almost cottage garden texture. As a perk, the Thryallis flowers are sweet-scented. Another way of getting a pleasant contrast to the yellow and blue is adding some red flowers. We talked already about the Ixora. Let's bring another one. The Peregrina, a tall bush or small tree, one of the varieties of the Jatropha genus. The vivid red of its little 5-petal flowers seem to be designed to make the golden stamens to stand out. I told you in other chapters about ways of getting color with no need of flowers. The copperleaf bush is one that stands out. The never-ending possibilities of color combinations is just dumbfounding. All shades of green, yellow, pink, red, purple, you name it. And they come combined on a leaf, different from the leaf next to it, with patterns that sometimes look as if they were man-made, Every single shrub has its own personality. Of course it has also flowers, but they may go totally unnoticed. Its bristly flower spikes makes us guess that it must be related to the shrub that has the cattails as the identifying property. And so it is. The chenille plant belongs to the same Acalypha genus. The female plant, yes, there are male and female chenille plants, bears pistillate flowers which are less than 1 millimeter long and range in color from purple to bright red, and grow in clusters along catkins that can grow up to 20 inches in length. Another plant that has a place on landscaping because of its leaves is the coleus, with a number of cultivars that display colorful leaves with strong contrasting colors. Unlike the copperleaf, the pattern here is the same on each leaf. The spikes of delicate flowers go almost unnoticed. This plant is a recent addition to the Zoo Miami collection. We'll see how it performs. Coleus is typically an annual plant elsewhere. In South Florida it may be perennial. Returning to flowers, there is another oddity whose name pictures what it's all about. I'm talking about the powder puff, and you notice the adequacy of the name as soon as you see it. All the flower parts that are told in botanics are here absent except for the stamens that have taken over. Dozens and dozens of them, tall and proud. Red on the tip, go to pink and end white at the base. The flowers of the American beautyberry are small and can go unnoticed. Nevertheless, at the bee level they look gracile and nice. Later on they will evolve onto the berries that give it its name and cannot be unnoticed anymore since its aligned groups of purple, brilliant spheres make everybody get closer to admire them. Still another berry, in this case red and growing on a tree, the Dahoon holly, that is the closest thing to the Christmas shrub American holly that we have in South Florida. Hope you have enjoyed this first part of the Zoo Miami landscaping scene up close. There are still more specimens worth of placing our magnifier on them. We'll come back with a second part. Promised.